Welcome to Retirement Key Radio with Abe Abish.
We are in a new year. We are looking at getting a fresh start, so many of us. If I'm being honest, coming off of last year, the bar of expectations is set pretty low for 2021.
Right.
But CNBC did come up with some suggestions to make this new year perhaps a better year than many of us experienced last year. So I wanted to get your thoughts on some of the points that they made and also ask what maybe you would suggest and add. Just starting from their first point here, saying, first things first, gather all of our financial statements together to review how we did last year and I guess figure out where to go from there.
Right, exactly. Sounds pretty basic, right?
Sure.
How to gather all of our statements, but you would be surprised at how many people think that's kind of a daunting task. But, we really need to gather all of our statements. We need to take an assessment. We need a compass check as to how we finish the year. What are we invested in? What kind of risk are we taking? How could a new administration impact our taxes for this coming year and the future? We really need to take a thorough assessment. So gathering the statements is very basic, but we need to do that to take assessment of where we stand today. So we just had a couple come in and they're in their mid-60s. They live in Sterling, Virginia, here in Loudoun County. And they are going to retire to Asheville, North Carolina, the mountains in Asheville.
Beautiful. I love it there. Yes.
Yep. Cool little town. Cool little town. So they are planning their transition into retirement.
Right.
Mid-60s, retiring in 1 year, done a fantastic job, $3 million saved. They have some pensions. And what we figured out with them, once we took a thorough assessment of everything they have, Heather, is that they don't have an income problem, meaning they have pensions and Social Security, another $3 million sitting on top of it. Their kids are set. They're really conservative. They don't want to pass any money on to their kids. Their kids are set.
Okay.
But they wanted a spend down plan. Even though they're not desperate for income, they wanted a plan to spend and enjoy this money while they're alive.
Sure.
Man, we love putting together plans like that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the fun stuff, I'm sure. Yeah.
So they've done a fantastic job. $3 million saved. And one of the first things they needed help with in this transition into retirement with just 1 year left until they retire is finding land down in Asheville. We're not real estate brokers, obviously, but they found the land. They needed to find a way to fund the land, the lot, and the construction new build.
Okay.
We talked about, should they take out a construction loan? Should they take a HELOC? Should they take money out of their retirement account? Should they take cash? We really helped them figure that out. And that was really helpful for them. That was the first thing they wanted to get out of the way. Okay. So we helped them with that. And then we started putting together an income and distribution plan. Why? Because there are only two phases of retirement, Heather. The first phase is kind of climbing up that retirement mountain, climbing up the growth and accumulation mountain, the front side.
Yep.
And then the second phase and side of the mountain is distribution and income. And they know they're only a year away, $3 million. Abe and the team, how can we spend this money without running out? How can we enjoy it? And you know what? That is a different conversation, a different type of planning that we help our clients with that a lot of other advisor firms do not, because most other advisor firms are helping their clients get up the mountain.
Yep.
Well, with $3 million, they're at the peak of the mountain. They're at the top of the mountain, and they needed help getting down. They needed help creating an income and distribution plan. So we spent a lot of time with them doing just that. That was one of the problems that they had, is putting those pieces together into an actionable, comprehensive plan. They wanted to start getting much more defensive in nature as far as their risk tolerance goes. So this is a couple with $3 million that is very happy with a 4 to 5% return.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. 4 to 5% return is a respectable return, but to get that type of return or yield, we don't have to take on a lot of risk, right? So a lot of the conversation was, how do we press down standard deviation? How do we really push it down and really lower our risk so that we can have some protections in place so we can get a 4, 5, or 6% return long term, so we can enjoy this hard-earned money that we work so hard for without the fear of running out.
Right.
And so those were some of the ways that we helped address their problems.
It's an interesting point you make, this idea of climb to the top of the mountain, how so many of us focus so hard on to getting that level of savings. But then what do you do when you get there? It's like the dog that finally gets to the other side of the fence and then just stands there, turns around and looks at their human going, I made it. Now I don't know what I'm going to do.
You know what? You know why, Heather? Because all of our lives, we've worked our butts off to save this money. And all we've ever focused on is maxing out our accounts, taking on risk, investing, and saving. That's all great. Here they are with this bucket of stuff and money, and they needed help. There's very few firms out there that actually help with that transition and that specialty on the back end part of retirement planning.
But that's exactly what you are here to help us do,
That's
and your entire team, Abe. So while we're on this subject, Abe, this idea of spending plans and income distribution plans, last year Congress raised the RMD age from 70 and a half to 72. And that gives retirees a little more flexibility in deciding how to draw down from their nest eggs. And Congressman Richard Neal, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, tells Yahoo Finance that we could see more RMD changes in the coming weeks.
I think that the tax system should favor retirement savings, which we've embraced. People are living longer. They're going to work longer. So we intend to raise the required minimum distribution age to 75 from 72. I don't see any reason why we couldn't have this done on the new president's desk in late winter.
So this would be good news for a lot of retirees. But is there anything that we should be doing now to prepare for what we assume will be the return of RMDs this year?
Well, Heather, we should be planning for it and preparing for it.
Okay.
And we just had a client email in, actually a current client of ours email in over the holiday break and said, Abe, I'm turning 72 this year. I'm expecting RMDs to kick back in this year. Can you tell me which accounts to take the funds out from, what percentage, and et cetera, et cetera. And as a certified financial fiduciary, one of our parts of our code of conduct, Heather, is to educate first.
Got it.
And we say at our firm here, we help our clients educate them to a decision. Well, he didn't really know the rules to the game, or he knew some of the rules to the game, but not all of them, because as the congressman just mentioned in the clip, there is a very good chance that RMDs could get pushed back again to maybe even age 75.
Okay.
And don't forget, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
Last year, the government said no RMDs for anyone, whether it's an inherited IRA or your own. And I think there's a very good chance that in 2021, we will also have no RMDs because, again, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
Further, I think that could get pushed back, or RMDs could potentially get pushed back to age 75. That's what's in the works right now. So we'll see what happens. He was already assuming that he would have an RMD due for 2021, and he was jumping the gun a little bit because we don't yet know the ruling on RMDs for 2021.
Right.
So what you want to do is have a plan, right? You need to have a plan for these forced distributions. And so one of the problems is when we're in the distribution phase of our retirement and either wanting to pull monies out of our retirement dollars or being forced to, we need to have a plan to address sequence risk.
Okay.
And this is a risk that any retiree will face, that when the market is down and you're pulling money out of your retirement accounts, you will face a double negative, a double or triple whammy or negative, and that can have a serious negative impact on your portfolio dollars and your retirement accounts. What's the solution? The solution is diversification with protections in place to protect your dollars when the market goes backwards. You need monies at risk. You need monies that are safe. You need monies for growth, for income, and a really well diversified retirement plan can help you to insulate yourself from these risks.
Find out more at retirementkeyradio.com.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish, NPM number 770-3575.